Testis produces the male gamete called the sperm. So whereas ovary produces the female gamete called ova. As you know, estrogen is one of the ovarian hormone produced by ovary. So this is very important in supporting the females during pregnancy. Hence, progesterone is also called as the pregnancy hormone. Auricle is also called as what? Atria. It decreases the blood pressure by dilating the blood vessels. Hello everyone, welcome back to session 8 of chapter 22, that is chemical coordination and integration. Myself B. Shobha Rani from the Department of Biology, Vidyashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence. Hope you remember in this particular chapter called Chemical Coordination and Integration, we are discussing about the very important endocrine glands and their secretions called hormones and their functions. Hope you remember in my last session, we studied about a very important endocrine gland called testes, that is found in male, produces a male hormone called testosterone, and we also studied about the important functions or the important role of testosterone in males. Let us move on to yet another very important female reproductive organ called ovary, which produces a very important female hormone called estrogen and progesterone. Here in this beautiful picture, you can see the structure of the ovary. Here you can see the uterus, the fallopian tube, and the finger-like projections called fimbriae. Right, here you can see the infundibulum. So anyhow, we are going to study in second PUC about the female reproductive system. So ovary plays a great role in females in carrying on various physiological processes, may it be right from the time of attaining puberty till the childbirth, and even for lactation also. So now let us understand about this wonderful endocrine gland called ovary in females. So here you can see this is the structure of the ovary, and this is the uterus, which is also called as womb. And here you can see the finger-like projections called fimbriae, and this is called as infundibulum, and this is called the fallopian tube. So the ova is produced here, it passes through here and it comes via fallopian tube and it comes in. Suppose if fertilization takes place, then the blastocyst is formed and it is attached to the placenta. If not, it rolls out through menstrual cycle. Now let us understand the important endocrine gland in females called ovary. Female have a pair of ovaries located in the abdomen. So ovary is the primary sex organ in females, which produces very important ovarian hormones. Right? Primarily, as I said, primarily acts as a female sex organ, produce female gamete called ova, whereas testis produces the male gamete called the sperm. So whereas ovary produces the female gamete called ova. As we know, the fusion of the male gamete called the sperm with the female gamete called ova results in the process of formation of a diploid single cell called zygote. Zygote later on will develop into an embryo. Right? So it also acts as an endocrine. As we know, ovary, not only the primary sex organ in females, also acts as a very important endocrine gland, producing two groups of steroid hormones. One is called the estrogen and the second one is called the progesterone. So estrogen and progesterone is very, very important for the females for various physiological processes. So female have a pair of ovaries located in the abdomen on either side, and ovary is the primary sex organ associated with other accessory organs, may it be the uterus, the fallopian tube, etc. Then it, as I said, ovary acts as an endocrine gland, not only as a not only an organ which produces the female gamete called ova, which takes part in the process of fertilization, but also acts as an endocrine gland producing two very important hormones called estrogen and progesterone. And let us and estrogen and progesterone is very much important for the female to attain puberty and for oogenesis. Oogenesis means also called as what? Process of formation of ova, and also for the maintenance of pregnancy. Progesterone is also called as the pregnancy hormone. Pregnancy hormone. Estrogen is responsible for the process of formation of female secondary sexual characters like the process of formation of mammary glands, etc. So now let us understand about the estrogen. Estrogen is synthesized in the growing ovarian follicles. So as we know, in females, before the fetus is delivered, the primary oocytes are formed inside the embryo, developing embryo itself before birth. Thereon, after the birth, no more primary oogonia are added nor are deleted. So after that, the second part, that is the formation of the secondary oocytes, and their development will take place after the females attain puberty. So estrogen is very much important for is synthesized in the growing ovarian follicles. Then progesterone is produced from the corpus luteum. So once, particularly if the fertilization after the ova is expelled out from the matured Graafian follicle, matured Graafian follicle, when the ova is expelled out from the, anyhow I'm going to show it in the next picture, next slide. So when the ova is expelled out, then the leftover cells of the Graafian follicle is called corpus luteum. So corpus luteum produces progesterone, which is called as the pregnancy hormone or maintenance of pregnancy if the process of fertilization will take place. Then corpus luteum is formed from the remnant of ruptured Graafian follicle. So ovary is a very important female reproductive organ, and also as we know that ovaries are located on a pair of ovaries are located on either side of the abdomen, and ovary primarily acts as a female sex organ and also in the production of the female gamete called ova to take part in the process of fertilization, and it also acts as an endocrine gland. How? By producing two very important types of ovarian hormones called estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is synthesized by the ovarian follicle, then progesterone is produced by the corpus luteum. What is corpus luteum? Once the ova is expelled. So when the mature ova is expelled from the matured Graafian follicle, it is called ovulation. So the leftover cells that are in the Graafian follicle is called corpus luteum, which produces the hormone called progesterone. So corpus luteum is formed from the remnants. Remnants means remaining cells of the ruptured Graafian follicle. Now, let us understand the role of estrogen. Here you can see the primary follicle, primary into secondary follicle, primary into secondary into mature. So here you can see the expulsion of the secondary oocyte, and after that, after puberty, then we can come across the process of formation of the ova. So this is called as ovulation. And here you can see this is called corpus luteum. This is called corpus albicans. So degenerating corpus luteum is called corpus albicans. So this is the structure of an ovary, showing matured Graafian follicle, This is called matured Graafian follicle. Here you can see. This is the ova. Right. So, what is the role of estrogen? Estrogen is one of the female hormone. Just like testosterone is male hormone, estrogen is a female hormone. Now, what is the role of estrogen then? Let us understand, children. As I said, it is most of the concepts what we are studying, particularly from this section, from this unit called human physiology, is almost related to the human body, and the knowledge what we gain will definitely enlighten us, because so many things many people will not know. So this is like understanding the very important features of our body and the functions that is going on, the physiological processes that is going on inside our body. For example, in females, I think females nowadays face a lot of problems. So when there is less secretion of estrogen, then it is going to affect the menstrual cycle, then even the process of formation of the female secondary sexual characters. All these, there are, the whole body, in females particularly is regulated by these female ovarian hormones. One is estrogen, the other one is progesterone. And we all know how important menstrual cycle is for the females. And if there is no regular menstrual cycle, then it is definitely going to affect the females in having the issues or the children. So, the role of estrogen. So, develop female secondary sexual organs. So, may it be the female reproductive system or may it be the mammary glands. So, develop female secondary sexual organs and development of growing ovarian follicles. So, here you can see primary follicle has to develop into secondary into mature Graafian follicle. So, what will happen if there is no development of the follicles? There will be no process of formation of mature Graafian follicle and then thereby expulsion of the matured ova. So, the female process of formation of female gamete will be affected. So, development of growing ovarian follicles. Then, regulate female sexual behavior also. So, estrogen is also very much responsible for the regulating the female sexual behavior. Just like testosterone is responsible for regulating the male sexual behavior, the female sexual behavior is dependent on this estrogen. So regulates. Then development of female secondary sexual characters. Like what? Like high pitched voices. Most of the beautiful singers, they have very high voice, high pitched voice. Some can sing for high pitch also. So that is because of this estrogen. So this is also one very important characteristic feature of the females, and you can call it as one of the female secondary sexual characters, which is regulated by estrogen. Then development of breast of mammary gland. That is, mammary gland is called also as breast. Deposition of fat all over the body, making feminine appearance. So usually fat deposition is more in females, and that is also because of this estrogen. So what is the role of estrogen in females? As you know, estrogen is one of the ovarian hormone produced by ovary. Here you can see the structure of ovary. The primary follicle will develop into secondary into mature Graafian follicle, and the mature Graafian follicle will expel out the fully matured ova, and that is called as ovulation, which will take place on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. And the leftover cells of the corpus, the Graafian follicle, is called corpus luteum, which produces a very important hormone called progesterone. And if at all fertilization takes place, then corpus luteum degenerates and forms corpus albicans. So, role of estrogen, develop female secondary sexual organs, development of growing ovarian follicles, regulate female sexual behavior, development of female secondary sexual characters like high-pitched voices, development of the mammary glands, deposition of fat all over the body, making feminine appearance. Then, let us understand about the progesterone. So, as we said, so once the mature Graafian follicle expels ova, then the leftover cells are called as what? Corpus luteum. And this corpus luteum produces what? Progesterone. a hormone called progesterone, which is a very, very important female hormone. So this is very important in supporting the females during pregnancy. Hence, progesterone is also called as the pregnancy hormone. What do you mean by pregnancy? From the time of conceiving, the female becoming pregnant, thereon the gestation period of 9 months, and then the delivery of the child. So till up to that particular stage, this hormone is very, very important for maintenance of the full pregnancy period or the gestation period till the childbirth. So hence it is called as the pregnancy hormone. So now let us understand about the role of the progesterone support pregnancy. As I said, from the time of conceiving, becoming pregnant, and thereon the gestation period is maintained, so that the whole 9 months the fetus and the mother is taken care by this very important hormone called progesterone. Then control the second half of menstrual cycle. Yes, so the menstrual cycle, second half of means till the fertilization takes place, till thereon it is also having a control over the menstrual cycle, particularly from the second half of means from the follicular phase. As you know, menstrual cycle has 4 very important phases. The first phase is called as the menstrual phase. So the first phase is called, so menstrual cycle, which is a very important reproductive cycle in females, having an average duration of 28 days. Usually we, in common words, we use the word called monthly periods, right? So menstrual cycle. So it has 4 very important phases. One is called the menstrual phase, then the follicular phase, and the third one is called as the ovulatory phase and the luteal phase. So again, after the completion of 28 days, again there is the regeneration of the endometrium wall. As you know, the endometrium wall corrodes during menstrual cycle, leading to the rupture of blood vessels followed by the blood flow, that is the menstrual flow. So thereon again the development of primary follicle into secondary into mature Graafian follicle, and thereby the expulsion of the ova. So till development it is called follicular. Then expulsion of the ova is called ovulatory phase, which takes place on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, which is a very significant day in females, right? Then the luteal phase, again the regeneration of the endometrium wall of the uterus back again, that is called this. So maintain uterus for implantation. What is implantation? Pregnancy. So attachment, see, why, if at all the fertilization takes place, then as you have already seen in the female reproductive system, the fallopian tube, it is the region, ampullary isthmic region is the region where the fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete will take place, leading to the formation of a diploid cell, single cell, but diploid cell called zygote. Zygote will undergo a series of mitotic cell division like cleavage, then morula, then blastula, then a very important stage called blastocyst stage, where it rolls down from the fallopian tube and attaches itself to the endometrium wall, and that is called as, so attachment of the blastocyst to the endometrium wall of the uterus is called implantation, or in simple words or common words we call it as pregnancy. We say she has become pregnant. So when the blastocyst comes and rolls down the fallopian tube and attaches itself to the endometrium wall of the uterus, then we call it as that she is pregnant. So for that, maintenance of uterus, so attachment of the, see, many a times we come across many a women having miscarriages or abortion, and that is because of this, when this progesterone is not produced in sufficient, or if it fails, so the uterus will not be suitable to hold the blastocyst, and that time the miscarriages will happen. So maintaining uterus for implantation is very important. Then prevents further ovulation. So for example, if a woman becomes pregnant, ovulation will not take place. Then inhibit action of oxytocin, uterine contraction. So oxytocin will be produced only during the time of parturition, that is childbirth. So because there will be vigorous contraction of the uterine muscles will lead to the expulsion of the fetus from the vagina, and that is called as childbirth, or what we call it as parturition. Then stimulate growth of mammary glands, particularly immediately after the childbirth, the mammary glands will secrete milk to feed the young ones, right, to feed the young infant. So that is also made possible by this progesterone. As I said, from the time of conceiving till the time of lactation period, this progesterone hormone maintains. Hence, it is called as what? Pregnancy hormone. So, stimulate growth of mammary glands, stimulate the formation of alveoli in the mammary glands. So, they are nothing but the milk glands, milk sacs we can say, which produces milk. Then, stimulate milk secretion. So, what is the role of progesterone? Support pregnancy, control the second half of menstrual cycle, maintain uterus for implantation, then prevents further ovulation, inhibit action of oxytocin, that is uterine contraction, then stimulate growth of mammary glands, stimulate the formation of alveoli in the mammary gland, then stimulate milk secretion. So in all these sessions, we were talking about very important endocrine glands like the hypothalamus, the pituitary, the pineal, the thyroid, the parathyroid, then the adrenal glands, then we studied about the testis, then the ovary. Can you imagine there are hormones of heart also? So let us understand what are the hormones of heart. As we all know, heart, we have also studied that heart is involved in pumping of blood, or it is mainly involved in circulation of blood. Other than that, it also plays a very great role. How? So hormones of heart. The atrial wall of heart. Atrial wall means that is the auricle. Auricle is also called as what? Atria. As you know, human heart is 4-chambered with 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle, right? So, atrial wall of heart secretes a peptide hormone, a protein hormone called atrial natriuretic factor. So, in short form, it is called ANF. It is called ANF. What is this ANF? It is called atrial. Why it is called atrial? It is produced by the auricle. Natriuretic factor. Now, let us understand. Here you can see the right. So, atrial natriuretic peptide hormone is released by the atria of the heart. So, here you can see the pulmonary wall, the atria. This is called atria. Here you can see the human heart. Right. So, atrial wall of heart secretes a peptide hormone called atrial natriuretic factor. What is the function? It decreases the blood pressure by dilating the blood vessels. It decreases the blood pressure by dilating the blood vessels. So, you know, when the blood vessels will be narrow, so the pressure of the blood is more and it is exerted on the wall of the blood vessels, leading to high blood pressure. So, this very important hormone of heart called ANF, that is atrial natriuretic factor, is going to help in decreasing the blood pressure. How does it decrease? By dilating, by expanding the blood vessels so that the blood can flow without any pressure. Then it also stops the secretion of renin. You know, renin is very important. In other hand, suppress a very important function called RAS, that is renin, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system, which is very much important in case of renal tubule of a nephron. So, it also stops the secretion of renin. In the other hand, suppresses RAS. RAS means it is a very important system called renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. So, what is the function of hormones of heart? Hormones of heart is called ANF. What is the hormone called? ANF. What does ANF stand for? Atrial natriuretic factor. So, atrial wall of heart secretes a peptide hormone called atrial natriuretic factor. It decreases the blood pressure by dilating the blood vessel. It also stops the secretion of renin. On the other hand, suppresses RAS. Then hormones of kidney. Oh, imagine even hormones kidney also producing hormone called, that is, here you can see the kidney, here you can see the renal pyramids, renal papilla, renal cortex, renal columns, right? So here you can see the renal vein. So juxtaglomerular cells, or what you call it as JUG cells, juxtaglomerular cells of kidney produce a peptide hormone called erythropoietin, which stimulates erythropoiesis. What is erythropoiesis? Formation of RBC in the bone marrow. All of us know bone marrow, yellow bone marrow and red bone marrow. Red bone marrow produces RBC. For that, synthesis of RBC by the bone marrow is made possible by this wonderful hormone of the kidney called erythropoiesis. Erythro means RBC, poiesis means formation. So which stimulates erythropoiesis. The very word itself will tell you. Erythropoiesis means formation of RBCs, red blood cells. So very important hormones. Other than the regular hormones what we have studied, we have come across hormones of heart called ANF, that is atrial natriuretic factor, and the erythropoietin. So juxtaglomerular cells of kidney produce a peptide hormone called erythropoietin, which stimulates erythropoiesis. So formation of RBC in the bone marrow. Hope you have understood the concepts what I have explained in this particular session. So you can imagine how important each and every session of this chapter called chemical coordination and integration is. So in the coming session will be the last session of this chapter called chemical coordination and integration, and I'll be discussing about the last concepts of this very important chapter. Till then, goodbye and thank you.